Well, hello, class, and welcome to Self and Social Identity and Christianity from Moody Bible Distance Learning. This is your fearless leader, Professor Jefferson, and I want to welcome you to week 3. So, week 1, we talked about social identity. Week 2, Christian identity. And now we're going to kind of synthesize that with Kang's Branding Pays book. So, you're going to be reading chapter 2, Positioning, and we're going to be talking about this idea of using your unique talents and an idea of what your target audience is and what you can bring to the table for them. Okay, and I find this fascinating in the idea of ministry, and I want to tell you that I'm currently using Kang's book to create a business plan for my private practice, for my Christian counseling service center. So I'm actually in the process of this. So I'm right there with you, writing positioning statements and mission statements. And so what you need to do for your discussion board is you need to tell us 2 things that you think are very beneficial to do that, and then 2 things that you have concerns about in the idea of positioning in what you read there. So assignment 3-1, you're going to do the branding goal and the cake and the ice cream. We all have an identity, and we share that identity, right? As born again, justified, freely forgiven children of God, right? And we share that is shared. But you and I are very, very different. And I have gifts and talents that you don't. I have experiences that you don't. You have experiences that I don't. And we each bring something unique to the table. And so what this is really trying to help you understand is, what are you bringing to the table? What do you specifically bring to the table? I have 25 years of working with teenagers. I have 11 years of working in the area of sexual addiction and recovery. I've worked in residential homes. I've worked in psychiatric hospitals. I have a lot of experience in what could easily be done if I'm starting a Christian counseling practice. I could say, I see everyone and I help everyone, but that's not really true. I have specific skills and experiences that help me help people in certain categories better than others, and I need to be able to say that. I need to be able to advertise that and help people understand that. So, and I was also a pastor for 14 years. So there is a crossing of a whole bunch of intersections of my experiences and gifts and talents that I can use to help people. And so this is what it's really trying to help you with. So there is a Google link. You click on that link, and then you'll go to about portfolios, and on the left-hand side of that, there's a link about showing you how to do an e-portfolio. In the resource folder, there's a kind of a manual written by Janet Randerson about how to do an e-portfolio. So make sure to read through that, make sure you do it the correct way, but you're going to make an e-portfolio for yourself. Okay? And then in assignment 3-2, you're actually going to be doing a self-assessment, and you can choose one of the 3 listed there. Strength finders, number 2 is multipliers. That's the Liz Whitman. I saw her speak. I think it's Whitman. Strength finders is Marcus Buckingham, and then DISC. If you are leading teams, okay, you pick one of the 3. If you're leading teams, pick the multipliers, because that's really for team leaders. Strength finders is leadership. DISC is more personality. So you're going to take one of those 3, and then you're going to write a 2-page double-spaced paper and just kind of share what you've found out. And most of it you'll probably already know, but kind of help me understand what that means, what it means to you if you learn about yourself, okay? Because I really do believe the hardest person you'll ever lead is yourself, because we have blind spots when it comes to ourselves, and we don't do a very good job of self-assessment, okay? So that's something I would like you to get kind of comfortable with while you're in school, even before you go out into ministry, for those of you who are not already in ministry. All right, so that's really week 3. I want to encourage you to continue to pray for each other, continue to pray for me. I would also ask you for your discussion boards, make sure that you're not posting on Monday night. That's not really fair to people who need to respond. I would also remind you, if your fearless leader asks you a question, please respond on your discussion board. You need to be checking back on your post to make sure people asking questions get responses. I would also remind you, please proofread your papers before you turn them in. And the question of the week is simply this: what is your favorite book? I actually got asked this. I was in a 6th grade classroom today, gave an entire class at attention, but I was in a 6th grade classroom today, and somebody asked me, "What's your favorite book, Mr. Williams?" And my favorite book of all time is, I think it's on this bookshelf. Maybe it's not. It's by Calvin Miller. It's actually a trilogy called The Singer, the Song, and the Finale. And it's a mythical retelling of the New Testament. It's the New Testament in verse. And I've read it every year since it came out. I met him. I ate lunch with him. He signed my book. It was one of those moments, you know. And but I cry every time I read it. I laugh every time I read it. So that's my favorite book. If you're gonna take it out of the Christian realm, To Kill a Mockingbird, or The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, the trilogy, which is really 5 books. So those are kind of 2 different things, but I love both of those books. So just tell me what book that you like. Can't be the Bible, okay? Can't be the Bible. We get that. We understand that. Give me another book. So, all right. With that said, I am in a school every single day, and when these school shootings happen, as it did today in Kentucky, it hits home. So I just ask that you would pray for the school in your town. Pray for the principals, pray for the teachers, pray for the students, pray for protection. There's not much we can do, really. I mean, we lock the doors and we practice that stuff all the time, but if somebody is intent on hurting people, it's a pretty easy thing to do. So I would ask for your prayers for the schools around you. Okay. If you have any questions, any comments, any prayer requests, please let me know. Onward and upwards.